to him and Kobe as a duo. Shaq said, quote, "There will never be the next Shaq and Kobe. We don't need them to catch up to us. Kobe and myself, we're not trying to catch Magic and Kareem. Kobe and I's legacy will never be duplicated or imitated." So, Shannon, which Lakers duo would you take, LeBron and AD, Shaq and Kobe, or Magic and Kareem?
Is this a trick question?
Nope.
I mean, really? Skip, you know I love, look, I think it goes without saying, everybody knows how I feel about LeBron. And everybody knows how I feel about AD.
So?
But the greatest duo of all time is Kareem and Magic.
What?
It's not even close.
No, hold on.
Yes.
I thought you were going to go obvious that it's LeBron and AD.
No.
Wait, it's GOAT and Baby GOAT.
No, Skip.
Well, oh, so that's all for show?
Skip, no. Skip, they've only been together for 1 year. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, they stay together for another 3 years. That'll put them together. I'm talking about after this year, they stay together for another 3 years.
Yeah.
That's 5 years. Do people realize that in the decade of the 80s, that Magic and Kareem went to 8 finals in 10 years?
Mm-hmm.
They had a stretch from 82 to 89. They went to 7 finals in 8 years. They won 4. And you talk about that decade of the 80s, there was 3 regular season MVPs, 4 finals MVPs. Skip, it's not even, this is the, I mean, as far as duos, Kareem and Magic are the greatest duo ever assembled. Skip, you're talking about arguably 2 top 5 players of all time playing together. I believe LeBron James is the GOAT, but AD has a ways to go to be a top 10 player of all time. If you want to say Shaq and Kobe top 10, okay, fine. But it's hard to say that both of those guys are top 5 players. You could make a compelling case. With Kareem with 6 MVPs, Skip, regular season MVPs. He has 5 championships. Magic has 5, 3 regular season MVPs, 3. So you can make the case, it's the only case to be made. I love all these guys. Shaq and Kobe were dominant, but they're not the greatest duo of all time. That belongs to Kareem and Magic.
I am dumbfounded by your position. I am blindsided by it, and ultimately thunderstruck that you wouldn't go LeBron AD on
After
it.
2 years?
GOAT and Baby GOAT. That's all I know. That's all I ever hear.
After 2 years?
But we're talking about LeBron James, who you tell me is the greatest player ever. Well, then I'd say, gee, if you give him Anthony Davis, then he should be the greatest duo.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Is Anthony Davis right now a better player than Magic Johnson?
Well, no, but we're going big to big. Let's go big. Is he better than Kareem or Shaq?
Stop.
Okay, well, that's the debate. But I just figured you'd go there.
Skip Kareem got 38,000 points.
Okay, now it's my turn. I will give you this. I have Magic ranked second on my all-time list behind the true GOAT, the authentic GOAT, not the phony GOAT, Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
Okay.
Chicago, Illinois. Bull. So if Magic is my second-ranked player, then how could I not go Magic and Kareem over Shaq and Kobe? It's because I have Shaq ranked, I believe, I didn't check this before the show, I should have, but I think I have him ranked 3rd all-time on my all-time list, and Kareem's down the list maybe 8 or 9. Okay, so Shaq is superior to Kareem, and if we just do the hypothetical head-to-head of the duos, this is just me, Shaq would destroy Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. The Shaq,
like Shaq destroyed Olajuwon? Going to destroy him like that?
I saw him destroy both Tim Duncan and David Robinson.
But Skip,
2
they're not
7-footers. Okay, but hey, Tim Duncan's pretty good.
He was.
Okay,
but Skip, but Kareem.
Okay, I'm talking about 2000, 2001, 2002, a three-peat for the Lakers. The first year Shaq won the MVP, and I'd never seen anything like it before. He went 30, 14, and 4 assists. Remember, this big man, this huge force of nature, kept averaging 4 assists through their championship years. That's really special. And 30 points led the league in scoring. 14 rebounds was close. And then 4 assists, MVP. And then he comes right back the next year with 29, 13, and 4. Then the next year is 27, 11, and 3. A slight drop off, but that year he increased his field goal percentage to best in the league at 58%. In the previous 2 years, he made 57 and 57% of his shots, which is just off the charts great.
Yes.
It just means you can't stop him.
Skip, But I think sometimes, Skip, when you rank someone, it's almost like, well, since you didn't put this duo or that person first, you're undermining or you diminish what they're accomplished. Skip, I don't know if people remember this. The year that Magic won the Finals MVP, they need to go back and check Kareem's stats. Kareem was like 33 and 14. That's what he was averaging, but because he missed Game 6 and Magic Johnson had that Herculean, what was he, 42, 15, and 7, he won the Finals MVP.
He did.
But I believe had Kareem stayed healthy and they won, Kareem would have been the MVP. Just, Skip, I don't think people realize, but you remember Kareem in the 70s. It was his decade. People realize he won 5 MVPs in the decade of the 70s? I don't know if people realize that, Skip, but that's what he did. He won 5 MVPs in the decade of the 70s.
Okay, I got it. I even covered Kareem out here for the Los Angeles Times when he first came to the Lakers.
What, 75?
Yeah, so, well, I was 77, 78 in there. But there was no Magic yet, obviously.
Right. He got Magic in 79.
Okay, so here's my thought on Shaq and Kobe. They are two cold-blooded basketball killers, both of them. They're assassins. They had that alpha dog mentality, both of them, which is why they ultimately parted ways, because they were too much the alpha. It was alpha versus alpha. They clashed internally as much as they imposed their will on their opponents. But because of that, if you put them against Magic's he's the smiling assassin, but Kareem was finesse to me. And Kareem needed, if you look at Kareem's record, he did win with Oscar in Milwaukee. They won a championship, but then he came to LA and they really struggled for 5 years.
Yes.
It was kind of like Death Valley in there, where nothing good happened with Kareem solo. When Magic came, the world changed. Obviously, they added James Worthy.
Because Skip, a big kind of needs a guard to get him the ball. I think, Skip, that's why we don't give bigs the credit. We don't give Russell, we don't give Chamberlain, we don't give Kareem the credit they deserve.
I agree.
Because they need guards to get them the ball, whereas a guard or small forward can get the ball and do things, but a center can't do that. So that's why we don't give, and Shaq, we don't give them the credit that they deserve because they're not bringing the ball up the court. They're not initiating offense. But when you look at, and I think that's one of the reasons, it's going to be hard to see another Shaq Kobe, because if you get two players that they believe that they're identical, how do you keep them together like Magic and Kobe, like Magic and Kareem? I don't believe it's possible.
Okay, that was a better fit long-term team-wise.
Yes.
But if we're talking about a duo, I would not want to have to deal with in a vacuum. You know, just put them in a vacuum. It's Shaq and Kobe. Listen, Shaq, I covered all these series in this run 2001, 02. I'd never seen anything like Shaquille O'Neal. It was not pretty to watch. It was unrefereeable because he was virtually unguardable. It's like block charge, which is it? He's playing football, basketball, just terrorizing anyone who got in his path. But what I loved about Shaquille O'Neal that he doesn't get enough credit for, he had dancer's feet. I'm talking about,
he was agile.
You want to talk about agility?
He was about, got 7'1", 325, 330.
330.
And he was effortless on his feet.
Like not just dancing bear, he was dancing grizzly bear. You know, like he had it all.
He's a huge man.
He is a huge man with such great footwork, like textbook. He called Tim Duncan the big fundamental. Shaq had big fundamental to him. He was well taught.
Skip, can just imagine if there was no Big Three Celtics, what the Lakers would have done. Because many believe the Big Three Celtics is the greatest trio of all time. In that stretch in which they were competing, it was basically Lakers and Celtics. It was like, okay, who's going to win it this year? It's going to be the Lakers and the Celtics. Because there was a stretch, Skip, if I'm not mistaken, 84, 85, 86, 87, in which they met in the finals.
Yep, they did.
And if the Lakers would have had, if Ralph Sampson, I think it was the Houston Rockets. I think it was 80, was it 86, Skip? When he made that lucky, might have been 86. He made that lucky shot with 1 second on the clock. They threw it in bounds, and he just turned and shot it. But Skip, I mean, 8 finals, 7 finals in 8 seasons, and they won 4 of them. They went to 8. I mean, we think about what LeBron did. I mean, he went to those finals, but the Lakers in the 80s, Skip, and people say that was the golden era of basketball and all. It's hard for me to find a better. I mean, you look, Cousy and Russell won more, but a better duo, Skip, I don't think there's a better duo.
Okay, let's do the hypothetical 2-on-2. I'm sorry. I got Shaq and Kobe all day and all night over Magic and Kareem.
Yeah.
I just do. I just don't think they could deal with them. I don't see how Magic could deal with Kobe. You could argue the other.
Go.